All right, so what I want to show you how to do now is most people don't have sock nets. In fact, I have a really awesome Japanese sock net that I loaned to one of my customers who's moving some fish today.
So technically you don't have one right now either.
Yeah, look at that. So we're going to use something that's much more common and something you should have because we took fish home in a plastic bag at one point.
Right.
So we use this guy all the time in Japan. This is just a normal koi bag. This is what you take home from me if you bought a koi, for example.
Okay.
And this is great at moving fish because it gives it some support on all of its sides, and it's something that's relatively secure and easy to move. Right.
So you get too much water in there, it's gonna be heavy.
Absolutely. So with koi, just like I mentioned with the net, everything's focused on the head. So wherever the head is where the body will follow. So when we're catching a koi with a plastic bag, once it's in a bowl, we always want the head going in first. So in this example, it's coming towards me with its head here. I'll give a little nudge to tell it to come on in, and then just like that.
Just jump right in.
Yeah. So now that it's in here, and so we're going to move it, I prefer to have very little water because just like you mentioned, it's very, very heavy with lots of water. I'll take the end here because this is where we don't want the fish going, right? And kind of fold that a little bit like so. And then we can go ahead and pull this bowl out. And in a perfect world, her head would be down in this corner here.
Facing down?
Yeah, because again, we don't want the tail being compressed on the bag there. So in this example, if she doesn't spin around, I'll just hold her like so, like that.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, well, you could do with less water. And
well,
I even have a trick for that.
Yeah, show us the tricks, because that's a lot of water. I mean,
yeah.
Not everyone's as buff and burly as you. They might not be able to carry around 3 gallons of water and a fish.
Yeah, so if I hold the top of this here, and I go like so, I can just sort of pour water out and up. She's getting close to the bag, and just kind of lean back a little bit here.
Yeah.
Pour more water out, like so. So now we have almost no water in here. And same thing, let me just close this up. And lift like so.
Cool.
So she's completely safe in here like this, and absolutely feel comfortable holding her.
So here's an example. It's not necessary to put her in a bowl, pick her up, put her back into the pond, because this water's clean water. We're moving her from one section to another, right?
Exactly, absolutely.
But that won't be the case all the time. Sometimes you'll have to.
Yeah, in fact, because I ship koi all over the country, sometimes if a fish is in this bag for a long time, I generally recommend customers just to release the fish by, grabbing this end and just dumping everything in. But certainly if a fish was in a long flight or the flight got delayed and the water looks really murky, I would again pull the fish out by hand, and that's absolutely necessary. So that way we have all this toxin still in this bag.
97% of the time you do it, it's absolutely graceful.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
The one time with the $60,000 koi video, she kicked around a little bit, made a splash.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course, it had to be that one, right?
You know it, yeah.
But, it's beautiful. It's like an art when you're holding that fish up in the air. It's so pretty.
Definitely. So let's I'm going to put her back in here.
Okay. Like a boss.
Like so. So that way we have our toxic water separate, right? Which is really important. And
let's dump it right back into the pond.
Yeah,
No, but that's good. You can take that over, feed it to the plants.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. So koi have slime, right? That's actually part of their skin. They have scales, they have skin, they have scales, and then they have slime. And that slime is that protective barrier that prevents them from getting infected with parasites and bacteria. And so it's a real integral part to them. And our hands, or your net, or any kind of tool, is really good at pulling that slime off, and we don't like that. So when we're handling koi, you're literally like kind of cuddling the koi. I mean, you're not actually like grasping it in any.
Sean,
in
the
any
koi
sense.
cuddler.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I can see how the net is really abrasive and could like rub the slime coat off. I mean, if your hands are wet, I mean, it's not
So
so bad, right?
we always want to wet our hands. In fact, that's really good practice too. Is I always will dip my net in the water and make sure it's nice and wet before I even start to catch the fish.
Okay.
It's a really good point. So when we're holding koi, everything starts again with the head. So we always want the head towards us. If you're ever trying to, it seems counterintuitive because now the fish is pointing towards the dry land, right? But that head is, you'll get the best grip having the head here as opposed to the other way. And again, if he squiggles away, he's gonna jump out in front of you, right?
Right.
And we don't want that. So head towards you, and then we'll use its pectoral fins. Those are very, very fragile and very easy to break. So when we hold it, we'll actually kind of slip the pectoral fins within our grooves here in our fingers.
Okay.
So that way we're kind of just gently getting them out of the way. So I know I'm not accidentally grasping one or folding one or crushing one.
Crinkling one up. Okay.
So most of the support of the head is on the palm, and then the back, and that's going to hold the fish. The other hand, and I can do it with both hands. And with the other hand, what I'll do is this hand is just to balance and move with the koi. So sometimes you'll hold a koi and it won't move at all. Sometimes you'll have the $60,000 fish that's just thrashing around because she's not happy for the moment, and or it's just her type. Like it's very interesting. There's certain varieties of koi that are more active than other varieties, and then there's different koi. Like, oh, I know this koi is a son of a gun, and whenever I catch her, she's gonna be like this.
Kick around.
Yeah, or jump. So simply head towards you, fingers here, and this is just going to balance the fish.
Okay.
And so I'll show that a little bit closer. So here, notice I have the pectoral fin
Oh yeah.
on that side, like so, like that side, like so, and then
it.
the koi is literally resting in my hands.
She's
and
a
now
mellow
she's starting
one.
to, yeah, she's pretty mellow. Now she's moving a little bit. And like so, even though she's flopping around like crazy, she's not leaving my hands, right?
Right.
And literally all I have is just this motion here.
So there's got to be a certain size fish that's easier to hold than others. I mean, you can't hold a toesai like that, right? You just hold it like that.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, is this a 3-year-old?
This is actually a 2-year-old.
Wow, she's
Yeah,
big.
she's from Issa. Yeah, she's
a
a
monster.
boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but not all 2-year-olds would be that easy, right? Or would they?
No. Well, most 2-year-olds are a little bit smaller, and so it's the same exact concept. It's just going to fit in your hand a little bit differently.
It just gets easier as they get a little bit bigger.
I think so.
Until they get
monstrous. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's.
You ready to try this?
Yeah,
You want
let's
to try this fish, or you want to try a different koi?
Hey, this one looked mellow. I think we should start with
all
her.
right. Let's do it then.
Okay. So we're gonna get her facing towards me. You always grab the head first.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
So
always
yeah,
grab the
head first, right? And so
One guy here, one guy here.
You got it.
So you're really reaching under her quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Look at that. She's
Yeah.
a beauty.
Nice.
Like a boss right there.
Look at you, man. Looks like you've done that a couple times.
Not today. Yeah, she's really nice.
Yeah.
You know, an interesting observation is when you were explaining it, and I think it's important for the viewers to understand. I had the interpretation like I was kind of going to be holding the nose, like hold the nose,
Oh,
don't
sure,
go anywhere,
sure.
you're mine.
Right,
but
right,
really,
right.
What you've told me, the exercise is I'm kind of, cupped under there, holding the bottom of the head to be able to get those fins positioned into your hand, just like you told me to.
Right.
So that was a really fun exercise, and it was really cool to do that.
And it's amazing once you hold it correctly, how easy it is, right? How the fish just sort of understands it's in capable hands and it's not moving around, right?
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm really glad we had the opportunity to teach everybody this today.
Yeah.
You influenced me to do something artistic,
Okay.
and I have a gift for you today.
Oh, wow. All right.
All right? Why don't you wait right here, and I'll bring it to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, I do some sports in my free time, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
And so, inspired by koi
Yes.
and by you, I made this custom skateboard
Shut up.
with a koi on it,
What?
and I'm gifting this to you. I only made 50,
No way.
and this is 25 of 50. I've labeled
Say
it.
What?
So I do some skateboarding in my spare time.
Yeah, I know
You know,
you do.
when we're not filming. And anyways, this is representing the Dragon Gate. You know, we've talked about the dragon koi.
Absolutely.
And so you see the splash of the water. It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
You see these lines right here. That's representative of a Japanese
Japanese
tattoo.
style,
Yeah,
definitely.
And of course the Japanese style at the top right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But I only made 50, and I
Wow.
have number 1 hanging on my wall.
Yeah.
I skate number 2.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, that's my board. And you have 25 of 25.
25, 50.
25 of 50.
Yes.
My producer has 50.
Ah,
He has
okay,
the
okay,
50
of
of 50.
50.
Yeah, and it's hanging on his wall.
25, that's an awesome
Yeah.
number. That's really cool.
So it was a limited run, and I just wanted something cool that I could kind of call my own. And the koi discussions was a huge inspiration, and I wanted to have a koi skateboard.
Eric, you are awesome, man. This thing is so cool. I can't wait to put this on my wall, actually.
Unless you want to skate it. If you want to skate it, I'll get you a different number.
You don't want to see me in a wheelchair.
I do not want to
Makes
see you in a
our videos
wheelchair.
way less
It'd be really
cool.
hard to shoot this in a
Yeah.
wheelchair. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Thanks for the inspiration. I know
you,
my
man.
viewers are in love with you, and they thank you as well.
Thanks, Eric.
Have a great day.
See you, man. This is so cool.